Hello, Serge here with an update about DJ's withdrawal in the first round of the uh, Wells Fargo Golf Championship at Quail Hollow Golf Club in Charlotte, North Carolina. As many of you know, and as I've read on the blog, DJ withdrew on after the third hole of the first round with suffering from back spasms. Many of you who have been on the blog for a long time know that DJ has been having these periodic problems with back spasms going back as much as 2 or 3 years, where the first one really started at Bay Hill, which actually just happened from him fishing and leaning over to having caught a fish to drop it back into the water rather than just take it off and throw it in. He dropped it in, and his back spasmed up on him. He had to miss that week. The next week that he was going to play, and he came back at a week afterwards in Bay Hill, and was feeling pretty good after having treatments almost every day for like 10 days straight. And went to Bay Hill and was getting stretched out every day and was feeling pretty good. And by Thursday, he was feeling very good about playing. And in fact, after 2 rounds, he had the lead. And I was down in Florida teaching a golf school, and I'd spent the first 2 days, Monday, Tuesday, up there with DJ at Bay Hill. And then we went down and did the golf school. And on Friday evening, after it was done, we came back to Orlando, that is, to Bay Hill, and watch the last 2 rounds. And at breakfast that morning, DJ said he was feeling really great and that he was going into the trailer to get stretched. And after they were stretching him, he'd see me on the putting green, and he came walking up to the putting green, just barely could move, with his kind of hunched over. And he said that they were stretching him, and all of a sudden his back spasmed up again. But I guess we can say that he went to the range, tried loosening up, hit some golf balls, took it all the way up to the driver, and went out there and played that day. And he shot, I think it was 2 over, something like that, and went from the lead to about tied for 7th or whatever, and came back the next day, I think we're 1 under, and finished about 5th or 6th or somewhere in that area. But he made a top 10. Being able to swing with yet the back spasms, which I believe without a doubt is proof positive that the peak performance golf swing is definitely the body-friendly golf swing. I don't think anybody else with any other swing could have been able to play after the situation he was in. Well, in the last couple of years, he's been bothered off and on, and when I met him up at Quail Hollow this week, he was complaining of having spasms in his back. He was going in a trailer every day. That's where the PTs are and the chiropractors, and he got stretched out every day. And the practice round on Tuesday was okay. The practice round on Wednesday was fine. We actually played 18 holes, and he hit a lot of golf shots because he played worst ball, which is when every shot you hit 2 balls and you keep playing the worst one and see what your score is, and that'll really wake you up to how good or how bad your bad shots are. And so he got done with that, and I saw things out on the golf course that was causing some issues. We went to the range and really got him into a good peak performance setup, and really got the swing working well, got him back to 3/4, and he was hitting the ball great and left pretty good shape. Well, Thursday showed up. We had a late breakfast because he had a tea time, afternoon tea time, and he was saying that his back would really tightened up. Went to the trailer, got loosened up, came back in and said that he really wasn't that loose. So went to the range, hit some balls. He got a little bit better. He was swinging, but you could see he was really, really tight, and hitting the ball pretty good, but not going after it very much. Went to the putting green, hit some putts, teed off. Well, on the first green, that day he was waiting to putt and checking over his line and everything else, and I didn't see it, but Jack Moore, who was out there, Jack Moore, that's from the video on our website, The Putting Secret, about E. Harvey Ward secrets that I did with Jack. He said to me, "Hey, did you see that?" And I turned around and I missed it. But DJ, he said, had bent down to pick a leaf or something off his line, and kind of almost had a little bit of a stumble forward and had trouble standing back up again. And it was evident. He looked very uncomfortable on his first putt. He putts with a belly. And the second putt, he couldn't even bend over. He had to kind of stand up, almost using it like it was a long putter. And then, he walked very gingerly over the second tee, which was a par 3. Took some practice swings, which looked like he was barely swinging, and then made a swing that would look very distressed, so to speak, and headed in front bunker, got it on, blasted out pretty good, 2-putted for a bogey, so he bogeyed 1 and 2, and because he ended up 3-putting that first green, and then just striped a perfect drive down the 3rd hole, which is a dogleg left. Hit a great shot up about pin high, about 15 to 20 feet left, 2-putted, and as he was walking to the next tee, the tee was people were still there, so when he finally got up to the tee, I went and gave him my seat. I have a little carry type seat I walk around with, and I gave that to sit down on it. And after about 5 minutes of sitting on it, 5 to 8 minutes, because they had to wait for the fairway to clear, when he got up, he had a very difficult time of getting up. And next thing I know, I saw him walk over to his 2 playing partners and shook their hands, and I knew it was over. He was definitely in too much pain to play. We walked him back because he withdrew on a tour. You have to go to the medical trailers or the exercise trailers, whatever you want to call them, and they have to look you over and check you out, and I guess make a report to the PGA Tour as to why you withdrew. And so when that was done, he came out. In the meantime, Jack Moore, who lives in the Charlotte area and goes to a chiropractor, I asked him to call a chiropractor, see if we could get DJ in there. I just felt we couldn't fool around with this anymore. It's been happening recurringly too often, and the spasms are basically seem to be getting worse. And then so we called him, and fortunately we were able to get him in. He had an appointment about an hour and 15 minutes later. After he came out of the trailer and he was walking to the car, he kind of walked across the parking lot. We were only about 50 feet from it, and he crossed this island between 2 parking spaces, and he had to bend down for a tree, and he buckled over. He just kind of almost just went down, and he was holding on to the tree, and we had to actually go over there and help him up. Got him in the car, drove him to the doctor. When he got out of the car at the doctor's office, he had trouble walking, so he had to get us, so between us with his arms on both our shoulders, we walked him in. So it looked like it's gone to another level. And we took him to Dr. Troy Lynn, who's a chiropractor. He's also a certified rolfer and a massage therapist. And so he was in there with DJ for about almost 2 hours. They took x-rays. And what Dr. Lynn diagnosed DJ as, and I'm going to read it to make sure I get it right. He said he had nerve root pressure at the L4, L5 discs. He took x-rays of him, and what's happened is the base of the spine, the curvature at the base of the spine, it's actually curving the wrong way. It's reversed itself and curving the wrong way. He said this could have been going on for years and years and years. It started flaring up when he started getting these spasms, which I think the first time was, as I said, a couple years ago at Bay Hill in Orlando, and it's been gradually popping in and out now and then, and so. And it's been, I think, already at least twice this year, and if maybe not 3 times. And so at one point he said DJ said, well, I got to find out what the heck's going on here. So that's why I took it, and we called Dr. Lynn, and we went up there. Basically, the x-rays showed that, as I said, the curvature of the bottom of his spine was going the wrong way, which was giving him difficulty getting in posture and maintaining it, and definitely causing these spasms. But it had elevated to, as I said, the nerve root pressure, because now he was really getting in pain, and he was having trouble standing up and even walking. So going to this other level, something has to be done. So first and foremost, because I know you're all concerned and caring about this, and so I wanted to bring this message to y'all so that you're not going to be worrying too much anymore and at least know what happened. Dr. Lynn diagnosed it that he said DJ will definitely not need any back surgery. His disc, the curvature has caused the space between the L4 and the L5 to separate by 27 degrees. And so he's got this, and that's meaning that if there's 2 discs here, when it separates this way at the back of the spine, they're now touching, and that's pinching off the nerves. And so that's where the excessive pain is coming now, which is taking this, as I said, to another level. So Dr. Lynn said consistent chiropractic care, having at least 3 visits for the next week or month or so, 2 months, and then exercise as well as some good stretching and stuff should alleviate it, and he will not need an operation, and it should be fine to go. There's even a possibility that if all of this works well, with the treatments he got from Dr. Lynn, on Thursday afternoon, and he's going to get a couple more, another one from him this weekend, because ironically Dr. Lynn is going to Charleston this weekend, so he's going to stop in and see him, and they're also going to find him a chiropractor in the area that Dr. Lynn knows has the equipment that would help treat DJ a lot better. And then naturally out on tour in the vans, they have chiropractors there and a PT, so he'll get treatment all the time when he's out on tour. And he's certain that there'll be no problems, no operation, and he should be up and running pretty soon. And in fact, just watch the site, watch the PGAtour.com. There's a good chance, I don't say good chance, there's an outside chance he might be able to play next week at the Players Championship at Sawgrass in Jacksonville, Florida. And so we couldn't put a percentage on it, but there's a chance that he might make it. If he can make it, I'll be there with him and helping him out to keep working on his swing. But I really think that I'll close by saying that I asked Dr. Lynn, and he was pretty certain that the swing didn't cause it. It's just something happened, and could have been something that he did maybe as a child, skating, biking, or whatever. Probably fell down and started this, and it's just accelerated over the years. And probably good chiropractic care on a regular basis would have helped avoided it and kept his spine in a better shape. And so I guess hopefully that's going to start happening now, and he'll get this consistent and chiropractic treatments to keep his spine in order and everything else, and especially. So the treatment was he got some adjustments, he got some soft tissue massage from Dr. Lynn at the office, and he walked out on his own speed. He stood up, was walking just like almost appeared normal. After the drive back to the golf course, he got there and he was walking normal as the last time I saw him after dinner that night. So I think he's okay. I know I talked to him on Saturday, and he was still very sore, but that was very likely from the adjustments and especially the massage. And so, but he was walking around okay. So next week's up in the air. It's not the swing. In fact, I think that this issue has probably been causing the issues with his swing, where he's been too long with his woods especially, and not really being able to get into the peak performance setup as good as he should, and therefore make the peak performance swing. Because I know, despite all of that, he was in really good shape on Wednesday afternoon, and when we were working with his swing and made some adjustments. So hopefully these adjustments will keep his body in position, able to get in the peak performance setup position, which is just a natural position, and then from there, make the three-quarter swing like he was doing on Wednesday, when he was really, really hitting it good as I've seen him in 5 or 6 years. All right, so that's it for DJ today. Hope I didn't ramble on too long, but I know you all were talking about it on the blog, wondering what happened, and are very concerned. And so now you know what happened and what's going on and what the prognosis is, and the best is that he should not need any surgery at all, and that hopefully he'll be back in action next week, or at the worst in a couple weeks. So I think he's going to be okay. Dr. Lynn's very confident he'll be okay, and he'll be back swinging as good or better than ever. And naturally, him being a peak performance golf swing player, he will have this should stay in check and not be a problem to him anymore, as long as he really keeps up with his chiropractic care and his exercises, which I know he will, because he's a PGA Tour professional golfer, and makes his living playing golf, and so he's going to stay fit so that he can play well and be a great example of the peak performance golf swing to y'all, and start playing better and getting back on the leaderboards, and so you can see him on TV and ultimately start holding some trophies. Okay, well, that's it for the search today on what happened to DJ. I appreciate all your interest and concern. It really is great for you to have such concern and follow DJ so much, because it's great that y'all care enough about him and to really be interested in. So with that, hopefully this answers your questions, and I'll be back with some further updates as I hear more and let you know what's happening with DJ in his rehab and his move to get back to playing great golf on the PGA Tour. Well, that's it for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.